Let me ask you something powerful. When was the last time you truly felt alive? Not just existing, but really living. When did you last do something that scared you, challenged you, or changed you? If the answer doesn't come quickly, it's a sign. You see, there's a silent killer of dreams that most people never even notice. It doesn't scream, it doesn't threaten, it whispers. It soothes. It convinces you that staying where you are is good enough. It's called the comfort zone. And while you stay in it, life passes you by. Opportunities drift away. Potential stays locked inside. And you wake up years later wondering, what if I had just dared to try? But today, you're going to see what most people never do. The truth is, stepping outside of your comfort zone is not just about being brave. It's about unlocking the hidden power within you. It's about growth you can't see yet. Strengths you haven't tapped into. And a version of you that's just waiting to be revealed on the other side of fear. This isn't just motivation, it's a wake-up call. Because staying comfortable feels safe, but it's costing you your purpose, your greatness, your freedom. If you're ready to stop playing small, if you're ready to step into the life you're truly made for, then listen closely. Because what's waiting outside your comfort zone is everything you've ever been searching for. Let's begin. Comfort is a cage disguised as safety. Let's start with the truth that most people avoid. Your comfort zone is not your friend. It looks inviting. It feels warm. It tells you everything is fine just the way it is. But behind that illusion of peace, comfort slowly becomes a trap. A quiet, cozy prison. A place where dreams go to die, not because they're impossible, but because you stop reaching for them. The comfort zone doesn't scream. It doesn't attack. It whispers. It whispers things like, you're not ready yet. What if you fail? What if people laugh at you? And those whispers become chains. Invisible chains that keep you locked in the same place day after day, year after year. You see, comfort feeds on your potential. It keeps you in circles, doing what's easy instead of what's necessary. You wake up, do what you always do, talk to the same people, think the same thoughts, live the same story, and then wonder why nothing changes. Let me ask you this. Are you living your life or just surviving it? Because if every day feels like a copy of the last, you're not alive, you're coasting, you're existing, not evolving. And you weren't created to exist. You were created to grow, to stretch, to break boundaries and reach new levels. Here's the truth. Nothing extraordinary happens in comfort. No great story begins with, I stayed in my room safe and sound. Greatness, transformation, breakthroughs, those things happen when you step into the unknown. When you leave what feels familiar and chase what sets your soul on fire. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's scary. But that fear is not a warning, it's a signal. A sign that something important is waiting for you on the other side. Think about the most powerful moments of your life. Were they easy? Or were they moments when you took a leap, faced uncertainty, and found out who you really are? Comfort is deceptive. It promises peace, but delivers stagnation. It offers safety, but steals your strength. The longer you stay in it, the harder it becomes to leave. It dulls your instincts, it erases your hunger. It makes you forget you were meant for more. But here's the good news, the door is not locked. You can step out at any time. You can choose growth, you can choose challenge, you can choose the unknown. And in doing so, you choose to awaken something inside you that's been sleeping for far too long. Comfort may feel good now, but growth feels better forever. Don't trade your destiny for a little short-term ease. Don't let the comfort zone steal your potential. The life you truly want, the one full of passion, progress, and power, is waiting. But it won't meet you in comfort. It's out there, just beyond the edge. And the moment you step past that edge, everything changes. Fear is a sign you're headed in the right direction. Let's talk about fear, not the kind that keeps you physically safe, like stepping away from danger. I'm talking about that deep, quiet fear that creeps in when you dare to dream bigger. The fear that shows up when you're about to make a change, chase a goal, or break out of the life you've always known. The kind of fear that whispers, what if you fail? Or worse, what if you're not enough? But here's the truth, that fear is not your enemy. It's a compass. It points you straight toward the exact thing you need to face. Because fear doesn't show up when you're doing what's easy. Fear only arrives when you're standing at the edge of something meaningful, something that could change you. Most people misunderstand fear. They treat it like a red light. Stop, turn around, go back to what's comfortable. But the successful ones, the bold ones, the fulfilled ones, they know fear is more like a green light. It's not saying danger, it's saying you're close. You fear stepping on stage because there's something powerful inside you that wants to be heard. You fear launching that business because you're standing in front of your potential. You fear leaving that relationship because deep down you know you deserve better. That fear is evidence that you're standing on sacred ground, the place where transformation happens. Yes, fear is uncomfortable. Yes, it makes your heart race and your hands shake. But courage isn't the absence of that fear. It's moving forward despite it. Every hero you ever admired, they felt fear. Every dreamer who made it big, they doubted themselves. The only difference, they didn't let fear win. You see, fear and growth are best friends. Wherever there is fear, there is an opportunity to evolve. You can choose to let fear shrink you, or you can let it shape you. Let it sharpen your edge. Let it remind you that you're alive. Because if you're not afraid of anything in your life right now, you're probably not doing anything that really matters. Fear is often the last guardian before a breakthrough. It's like a gatekeeper that asks, are you serious about this? Are you willing to feel this discomfort to find what you're looking for? If your answer is yes and you walk through anyway, life opens up in ways you never imagined. So the next time fear shows up, don't retreat. Don't numb it. Don't ignore it. Acknowledge it. Feel it. Then keep walking. That fear is trying to guide you, not stop you. Listen closely and you will hear it saying, this way, your future is here. Don't fear fear. Use it. Let it be the signal that you're about to enter a new level of yourself. You're not weak because you feel afraid. You're human, but you become powerful when you move through that fear and keep going anyway. Because the moment you do, fear no longer controls you, you control it. Discomfort builds unshakable confidence. If you've ever wondered how to become more confident, let me give you the truth that few people are willing to say out loud. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build, brick by brick, moment by moment, through discomfort. We live in a world that celebrates ease, fast results, instant gratification. But real confidence, that doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in the fire of struggle. It grows when you're uncertain and still take the first step. It grows when you doubt yourself, but move anyway. It grows when you fall flat on your face and still stand back up. Most people assume confidence means never feeling fear or self-doubt, but that's a myth. The most confident people you see, the leaders, the speakers, the risk takers, they feel fear too. The difference? They've trained themselves to face discomfort instead of avoiding it. Every time you do something uncomfortable, something shifts inside you. You push your limits, you break through invisible walls, you gain proof. Proof that you can handle more than you thought. And that proof becomes the foundation of true confidence. Think back to a time you did something hard. Maybe you gave a presentation, had a tough conversation, stood up for yourself, or tried something new. Remember that feeling afterward, that surge of power? That confidence being built in real time. And here's the key. Confidence is cumulative. The more discomfort you willingly face, the more belief you build in yourself. You begin to trust your own voice. You stop needing validation. You stop shrinking. You start showing up. This is why discomfort is not your enemy, it's your personal trainer. It's the force that puts you through the reps you need to grow stronger, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The more resistance you face, the more resilient you become. And soon, the things that once terrified you, they feel natural, normal, easy. Why? Because you've grown into them. Confidence is not about being the loudest in the room. It's not about never failing. It's about knowing deep in your bones that no matter what life throws at you, you've got what it takes to figure it out. You can fall, you can get hurt, you can be challenged, and you won't break. That kind of inner knowing only comes from exposure to discomfort. So if you're uncomfortable right now, good. That means you're doing the work. That means you're growing. That means your future self is being shaped at this very moment. You can't become strong by staying soft. You can't become bold by staying silent. You can't build confidence by playing small. Discomfort is the classroom. Confidence is the diploma. You earn it one brave step at a time. Keep stepping. You're becoming unstoppable. Growth hides in the shadows of discomfort. Growth isn't loud. It doesn't come with applause. It doesn't always announce itself. In fact, some of your biggest breakthroughs will happen in silence, while no one is watching, when no one is cheering you on. And more often than not, they'll happen during your most uncomfortable moments. You see, growth is rarely obvious when you're in the middle of it. It doesn't feel glamorous. It feels like stress, confusion, self-doubt, fear. It feels like working late when no one else is, saying no to distractions, learning new skills, facing hard truths about yourself. And the reason most people never grow is simple. They avoid these moments. They run from the discomfort, not realizing that it's the very thing designed to develop them. You won't grow by repeating what's easy. You grow when you push against the friction of your current limits. Just like a tree doesn't strengthen without the wind, you don't become stronger without pressure. Resistance is part of the process. And when you embrace that truth, you begin to see discomfort differently, not as a punishment, but as a hidden gift. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly felt yourself evolve? Was it when things were easy, or was it when life challenged you to dig deeper, think harder, and stretch beyond your usual limits? Pain teaches. Struggle strengthens. Uncertainty sharpens. And every time you step into discomfort, every single time, you're training your mind, your heart, and your spirit to adapt and level up. Look around you. The people who are growing the fastest are not the ones avoiding hard things. They're the ones walking straight into them. They're not fearless. They're committed. They understand that comfort doesn't lead to expansion. It leads to stagnation. It keeps you circling the same small territory, never exploring the full map of who you could become. Discomfort isn't the enemy, it's the gym for your character. It's the forge for your future. When you do things that challenge you, stretch you, even scare you, you grow into someone who can handle more, carry more, lead more, and live more. You're not supposed to bloom in the same soil forever. Just like a plant outgrows its pot, you were never meant to stay in one place mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. And growth demands that you uproot, that you get uncomfortable, that you make a mess before you bloom again. So if life feels hard right now, if you're in a season of discomfort, good. It means something is shifting. Something is being born in you. You may not see it today, but that struggle is growing you in ways that ease never could. Remember this, comfort feels good now, growth feels good forever. And what you build in discomfort, no one can take from you. Keep growing. Even in the shadows, new opportunities only exist outside the comfort zone. Let this sink in. Your comfort zone is a place where opportunity doesn't knock, because it can't even find the door. Opportunities don't live in your daily routine. They don't wait for you while you sit in safety. They live out there, beyond the edge of what's familiar, what's easy, what's predictable. And the only way to access them is to step out into the unknown. Think about it. Every major transformation in your life, every milestone, every big win, every moment that made you proud, it happened because you stepped into something new, something uncertain, something that required courage. But here's the trap. Comfort feels good. It gives you the illusion of control. You know what to expect. You know what you're doing. You don't feel vulnerable. But comfort comes with a cost, and the cost is growth. The cost is possibility. The cost is waking up one day and realizing you've been playing small while your dreams were waiting on the other side of fear. The people who seem lucky, the ones who just happen to be in the right place at the right time, most of the time, that's not luck. That's positioning. That's someone who was brave enough to step into spaces others were afraid to enter. They felt the fear and they walked through it anyway. You'll never meet your future self inside the walls of your past behavior. If you want new experiences, new results, new relationships, new levels of success, you must first become someone new. And that begins the moment you say, I will no longer be ruled by comfort. That decision opens doors you didn't even know existed. Because when you start doing things differently, the world responds differently. You attract new people, new ideas, new momentum, all because you were willing to move. Let me be clear. The opportunity isn't going to wait for you forever. It's moving. Life is moving. The window opens and then it closes. Don't let fear trick you into thinking you can wait until you feel ready. Readiness doesn't come before the leap. It comes after. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need all the answers. You need courage. You need boldness. You need faith. Because action creates clarity. Motion creates momentum. And once you move, the path begins to appear. Problem. So step out, apply for the job, make the call, say yes, say no, move cities, end the toxic cycle, start the passion project, learn the skill, take the risk. Because opportunity is out there, but it's not coming in. You have to go meet it. And every time you do, every time you bet on yourself, you raise your value, your mindset, your life. The question is not, will opportunity find me? The real question is, will I be bold enough to go find it? Resilience is forged in the fire of the unknown. There's something powerful that happens when you step outside your comfort zone. You don't just learn new skills. You don't just meet new people. You discover a part of yourself that you never knew existed. A version of you that's stronger, tougher, more resilient than the one who played it safe. Resilience isn't built through ease. It's built through experience, through falling down and getting back up, through failing forward, through moments of uncertainty when you had every reason to quit but chose to keep going. And where do those moments happen? Not in your comfort zone. They happen in the unknown. You won't build mental toughness watching motivational videos alone. You won't grow grit by staying where it's easy. You build it when you're out there, unsure of what comes next, yet showing up anyway. You build it when you're afraid and still take action. You build it when you fall and decide, this won't be the end of my story. The truth is, adversity is your training ground. Every time you step into a new challenge, you're adding layers to your resilience. You're proving to yourself, I can survive this. I can adapt. I can figure it out. And that self-trust becomes a foundation you can stand on for life. Because life will test you. That's guaranteed. There will be setbacks, heartbreaks, rejections, failures. And if you've only ever lived inside comfort, those moments will break you. But if you've been stepping into discomfort on purpose, those moments will shape you. They'll call out your power, they'll demand your growth, they'll push you, yes, but they'll also prepare you. And eventually you look back and realize, I didn't just survive the storm, I became the storm. This is why people who challenge themselves intentionally are more resilient. They don't wait for life to test them, they test themselves. They build a mindset like a muscle. They get comfortable being uncomfortable. And when real life hits, they don't fold, they rise. That's what resilience is, the ability to rise again and again and again. No matter how many times you fall, no matter how hard the fall is, the bounce back gets stronger each time. Not because life gets easier, but because you've grown tougher. You see, comfort makes you fragile. The unknown makes you powerful. And when you stop avoiding the unknown, when you start meeting it head on, you become unshakable. So don't just chase success, chase growth, chase challenge, chase the places that scare you, because those places are forging a version of you that fear can't control, failure can't stop, and struggle can't break. You don't become resilient by avoiding pain. You become resilient by walking through it and coming out stronger on the other side. Let discomfort mold you. Let the unknown refine you. Let resilience define you. Stepping out reveals who you really are. Most people live their entire lives without ever meeting their true selves. They live according to routines, expectations, and familiar roles, doing what they've always done, thinking what they've always thought, becoming who others expect them to be. And somewhere along the way, their true identity, their potential, their voice, their purpose gets buried under comfort. But here's the truth. You cannot discover who you really are inside your comfort zone. You can only discover it when everything familiar falls away, when you're tested, stretched, and placed in unfamiliar territory. Because that's when you see what you're made of. That's when your real self steps forward. Stepping out of your comfort zone is like stepping into a mirror that reflects the rawest, truest version of you, not the version defined by fear or limitation, but the one that's been waiting to be awakened. You'll never know how brave you are until bravery is the only choice. You'll never know how strong your voice is until you use it in rooms where no one's listening. You'll never know how far you can go until you take that first uncertain step into the unknown. You see, comfort teaches you how to stay safe. But discomfort reveals your power. It reveals how deeply you can love yourself when everything else is falling apart. It reveals how fiercely you can fight for your dreams when the world tells you to settle. It reveals how unshakable your spirit is when all the odds are stacked against you. And the beauty of stepping out is this: you don't just become someone new, you remember who you've always been. That fierce child, that dreamer, that fighter, that version of you that didn't worry about failure or rejection or judgment, that version of you that wanted more, believed in more, and reached for more. The world tries to tame that part of you. It tells you to be realistic, to stay in your lane, to keep your head down. But when you dare to step beyond your comfort zone, you reclaim your identity. You say to the world, I am not who I was yesterday. I am more than what you see. I am becoming. And once you've met that version of yourself, you can never go back. You won't want to, because living authentically, boldly, freely, fully is a kind of freedom that no comfort zone can ever match. This journey isn't about becoming someone else. It's about returning to who you were always meant to be. Before fear told you to shrink, before doubt made you second guess, before comfort convinced you that average was enough. So step out, strip away the labels, face the unknown, and meet the version of yourself that was always waiting, just on the other side of comfort. Your next level requires a leap of faith. There comes a moment in every journey where you can no longer tiptoe forward. A moment when logic won't carry you and comfort won't follow you. A moment where the only way forward is to leap. A leap of faith. And that's exactly what stepping out of your comfort zone requires. Faith, not just in some outcome, but faith in yourself. Faith that you're capable. Faith that you'll figure it out. Faith that even if things don't go as planned, you grow into the person who can rise regardless. Most people stand at the edge of change and wait for certainty. They want guarantees, signs, security. But that's not how transformation works. Growth doesn't come with a safety net. It comes with risk. And risk requires trust. Not trust in perfection, but trust in your perseverance. Trust in your ability to adapt, to learn, to bounce back. Because, let's be honest, not every leap will land the way you hope. Some will shake you, some will humble you, but every leap will teach you. Every leap will evolve you. And that's the secret most people miss. It's not about where you land, it's about who you become by jumping. When you live in your comfort zone, you avoid failure, but you also avoid discovery. You avoid embarrassment, but you also avoid excellence. You avoid pain, but you also avoid purpose. At some point you must decide, are you going to build your life around fear or around faith? Faith doesn't mean you don't feel afraid. It means you move despite the fear. It means you take that first step even when your voice shakes and your heart pounds. It means you trust that something greater is unfolding even when you can't see the full picture. And here's what's beautiful. Your next level is not waiting for someone braver, smarter, or more prepared. It's waiting for you, the real you, the one willing to leap without all the answers, the one who knows that growth never feels safe but is always worth it. Every person you admire once stood at the edge of their own comfort zone, terrified, they questioned themselves, they doubted, but they leapt, and that leap changed everything. Your leap might be a conversation you're afraid to have, a dream you've been putting off, a decision you've been delaying. But whatever it is, it's the gateway to your next chapter. Nothing extraordinary happens by staying still. Nothing legendary is built in safety. Everything you want, purpose, power, freedom, is waiting on the other side of one bold choice. So leap, not because you have no fear, but because your vision is bigger than your fear. Not because it's easy, but because you refuse to stay stuck in a life that doesn't match your potential. Not because you know how it ends, but because you trust yourself to write a powerful story along the way. This is your moment. Leap and let your wings grow on the way down. Now you see it. What once felt like a wall is really a doorway. What once looked like fear is actually a test. And what once kept you still is now calling you to move. You've heard the stories. You've felt the truth. You've glimpsed the reality. Everything you're chasing, growth, success, confidence, strength, and purpose, it's not hiding from you. It's waiting for you just beyond the borders of your comfort zone. Here's the beautiful, uncomfortable truth. You were never meant to live safe. You were meant to live bold. You were designed to stretch, to expand, to evolve. And that only happens when you make a conscious decision to step out of what's easy and step into what's necessary. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to move. You need to take that first uncomfortable step, because that one step will lead to another and another. And soon you'll look back and realize the person you used to be could have never handled the life you're living now. Discomfort will visit you either way, to regret or to growth. But only one of those paths leads to freedom. Only one leads to a life without limits. So choose courage over comfort. Choose action over fear. Choose evolution over excuses. Because outside your comfort zone is where you find the strengths you didn't know you had, the resilience you didn't know you needed, the life you were truly meant to live. Let this be your turning point. From this moment forward, stop asking for permission to grow. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop looking back. The old version of you, the one who stayed quiet, stayed still, stayed safe, is no longer in charge. The version of you who dares, who believes, who moves boldly into the unknown, that's who you are now. And every time fear whispers, stay where it's safe, you'll remember what's on the other side of discomfort: purpose, power, and peace. So go now. Apply what you've heard. Live it. Not tomorrow, not someday. Today. Because the next level of your life, the one with more clarity, more strength, more opportunity, it's not found in comfort. It's unlocked by courage. And now it's your move. Step out and don't look back. Your breakthrough is waiting.